offensive, and that it was difficult for you to say in class because you knew it made most of us uncomfortable.
Another commonly challenged book is Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Usually it is banned because of vulgar language and violence. Do you think this book has any reason to be banned from high school curriculums?
No, I would say of any of the books that could be banned, I would say that least of all, because again, it's a piece of our history that Steinbeck was trying to portray. I think he created two very emotional characters. I think that the conflict that he immersed them in was very relevant, that of friendship and that of making a decision about how far do you go to protect a friend. I don't think certainly the language is offensive again, certainly, but again, set in the time and look at the characters. It's not, in that case, teenagers who are speaking that way. And the violence, and I guess really the only violence that I would say is of topic to discuss is the ending when George has to make that decision about what to do about Lenny. Yeah, but I almost think that it has to be that dramatic to get the point across that Steinbeck was trying to make about, here's this retarded man that another man has been in charge of, and how can he keep him safe? Is this the end of the road? And does he want to see him suffer? So am I advocating, when I teach that book, am I advocating that you should shoot your friend when the going gets tough? No, of course not. But I think we need to look at the context that the violence, the context of why the violence is included.
Okay. Do you think it's important for students to not be sheltered from the vulgarity, or for them to be exposed to the story?
That's a tough question, because I am a mother, and I certainly don't like my daughter especially using foul language and using obscene language. I really do think that foul language is a sign of something. Sign of lack of vocabulary, first of all, maybe. A sign of something else going on, whether it be anger or depression or something. There's a reason why people swear and cuss. There really is. We consider it kind of an adult thing to do. Doesn't mean it's right. I don't know if I want this on tape, but my daughter has said to me many times, Mom, you swear at home, and I do. I'm sure we all do. We say certain words now and then that are a sign of dissatisfaction, or, I certainly don't, and I don't think that you guys have ever heard me swear. It's not a constant part of my vocabulary, but I think teenagers tend to, because our society is so accepting usually of everything, I think language becomes much more colloquial, it's much more commonplace to hear teenagers swear. I don't think that's right. And I think the more kids hear it, maybe the more susceptible they are to repeating it, but not necessarily. I think it depends on who you are and your values and how you were raised.
Animal Farm by George Orwell is again another challenged book because of its satire and symbolism towards Russian communism. Do you think it's right for students to be censored toward the communist movement, or from the communist movement that was taking place in Russia, or should they experience the history through that now?
Again, I think the historical aspect is great. Someone once said, and I'm not going to tell you who, but someone once said to me they didn't think that history could be taught through fiction, and I totally disagree. I think history can be taught through our fiction, because as I tried to teach you guys in Honors 10, some of our American authors wrote what they did and how they did because of what was going on in their lives. So I think surely you can write a piece of fiction and have it reflect the sign of the times. So yeah, I think Animal Farm would be another one of those that depicts in a, I guess you could say, silly way what was going on in Russia.
Okay, last question. Do you have a solution as to dealing with the banned book dilemma that's been going on forever?
Do I have a solution? Oh, wouldn't that be nice? I just want people to be open-minded, please. Don't decide for other people. Decide for yourself. If you don't want to read something, it would be just like not going to a movie because you've heard that it's raunchy or you've heard negative things about it. Don't read it, or don't go to the movies. Just like don't read the book. But don't try to decide for others. It's just not right. It's just not right. Leave it up to the professionals, and yes, some of us are a little bit more liberal than maybe some parents would like, but I don't think we all want to still be reading Charlotte's Web when we're, in 11th and 12th grade. I think we need to branch out and maybe see what the world is like through other people's eyes, and I think we do that in literature. So,
Okay.
all right?
Thank you for your time, Mrs.
You're
Powers.
welcome. And I was thinking during the thing that we were doing this, it would have been nice if we could have all been in a circle maybe and talking instead of me just yapping at you. But if you think of other questions that you want, maybe we can do that on a one-on-one. Maybe I could be talking to Matt or something. All right?